Hello and welcome to the Mind Body Monthly Chat. This month, we're going to be talking about energy psychology and emotional freedom technique, also known as EFT or tapping. And this talk follows on from our last talk last month on beliefs. So my name is Amanda Collins, and I'm a trauma and internal family systems informed wellbeing coach. And I use energy psychology techniques to help my clients along their personal recovery journey from chronic fatigue, chronic pain, fibromyalgia, plus other persistent symptoms, including anxiety. My aim is to empower my clients to understand their self on a deeper level and to help bring the joy back into their life. And I'm really passionate about energy psychology, and tapping is my go-to therapy to transform my clients' lives and my own. I've used it a lot on myself too. So I'm going to cover quite a lot in this talk today, but the beauty of having a recording is that you can revisit that at any time. So today I will be talking about how EFT helped in my own recovery, what is emotional freedom technique, also known as EFT. I'll be sharing some EFT research with you and going over how it works, showing you the tapping points and how you can tap in company with nobody noticing, why your beliefs are so important, and how to connect your body, your thoughts, and your emotions. I'll be showing you what a setup statement is and how to tap using a truth round. We will then be going through a basic tapping round and finishing with a follow-along tapping meditation for anxiety. So let's get started. How EFT helped in my own recovery. Having been diagnosed myself with fibromyalgia back in 1999, I found out the long way that for me, and remember, everybody is different at a different stage of their recovery, but I found out that just learning alone about what was going on in my body, in my mind, in my subconscious, learning about my past traumas and my limiting beliefs wasn't enough. I actually needed to be doing the deeper work on myself to address my past traumas and beliefs, so I could bring my mind and body back into a state where I could feel safe. So I knew when the time was right for me, I needed to take that deeper step. So I qualified as an emotional freedom technique practitioner back in 2007, which started my passion to learn more about energy psychology techniques. Since then, I've learned many other energy psychology techniques, such as advanced emotional freedom technique, matrix re-imprinting, and two techniques taught by Dr. Klinghardt called mental field technique, also known as tap and tone, and psychokinesiology or PK. Plus, I'm an internal family systems informed coach, and I bring that into my energy psychology work, along with family constellations and intergeneration ancestral healing. And I found that going deeper into my past traumas really made the biggest difference in my own personal recovery journey. So what is emotional freedom technique, which is also known, as I said, as EFT or tapping? Now, EFT is a powerful stress relief technique. Tapping is based on the combined principles of ancient Chinese acupressure and modern psychology. In simplest terms, tapping is an emotional form of acupuncture, except that it doesn't use any needles. Instead, you tap with your fingers to stimulate certain meridian points while you are tuned in to a problem. The existing theory of how it works is that the cause of all negative emotions is a disruption in the body's energy system. So the basic tapping techniques requires you to focus on a negative emotion or limiting belief. And this can be a fear, a worry, a belief, or any unresolved problem. And I'd just like to point out there, we can also use tapping on positive affirmations as well. So while maintaining your mental focus on the issue, you use your fingertips to tap about 5 to 7 times on the 9 main meridian points in the body that we use for tapping. These are the same points you could use in acupressure or acupuncture. With tapping, we consider these subtle energies to be the front-running cause of emotional upsets and connection between our physical and emotional issues. Physical pain and disease are closely connected to negative emotions, and physical symptoms cause emotional distress. So unresolved emotional trauma and problems manifest themselves through those physical symptoms that we feel. This is why we must always address both the physical symptoms and the emotional problems that manifest, so that your health can be approached as a whole. You cannot treat the symptoms without addressing the cause, and vice versa. Now let's talk a little bit about stress. The World Health Organization has announced that stress is the health epidemic of the 21st century. This is because it is linked to anxiety, fatigue, weight gain, sleep problems, lack of motivation, chronic pain, stomach issues, depression. The list goes on. Actually, every system in our body, musculoskeletal, respiratory, cardiovascular, endocrine, gastrointestinal, nervous system, and reproductive systems are all affected by stress. And tapping is proven to reduce stress, lower cortisol, improve sleep, reduce anxiety, relieve pain, increase productivity, and much, much more. So here is some research, and this research is showing cortisol levels. So this replication study in 2020 confirmed the original outcome that 1 hour of EFT tapping resulted in a significant decrease in the stress hormone cortisol by 43%. Now, this study was done on 53 participants who were randomly allocated one of 3 group interventions. They were either put into an EFT tapping group, a psychoeducational group, or a group that had no treatment at all. The only change made to the original study was that the treatment this time was offered in group settings instead of individually. So you can see how powerful tapping is to reduce those stress hormones and cortisol levels. In another study, it showed long-term and profound relief for veterans with PTSD. The study showed a 90% drop in PTSD symptoms after 6 weeks of EFT treatment. Not only did EFT far outperform the effects of standard care for PTSD, but the results were substantially maintained at the 3 and 6 month mark. For this study, a group of veterans meeting the clinical criteria for PTSD were randomly assigned to either an EFT treatment group, and there was about 30 in that group, or the standard care for PTSD, about 29 in that group. And over the course of 6 weeks, each participant in the EFT treatment group received the 1 hour, 60-minute EFT session per week with a practitioner. Now, after the 6 weeks, 90% of the participants who received EFT no longer met the criteria for PTSD, which is amazing, which meant they no longer were diagnosed with PTSD. Now, for the group that received the standard care, only 4% no longer met the criteria for PTSD. So you can see how effective EFT tapping is. So this research on gene expression showed how tapping positively influenced gene expression in 72 different genes. Very simply, gene expression is the process by which the information encoded in a gene is turned into a function. Gene expression is thought to be like an on-off switch, which controls where the RNA molecule and proteins are made, and acts as a volume control to determine how much of these products are made. Now, this study showed that 1 hour of tapping increased immunity and decreased inflammation. You can see here the long list of gene expressions that were influenced. Now, this is really exciting work, and the ones that really stand out the most to me are the building of the white brain matter, the metabolic regulation, the neural plasticity, And this is great work, which brings us on to the next slide of how tapping calms the amygdala. Now, tapping on the meridian points sends a calming signal to the amygdala, letting your brain know it's safe to relax. And this has been shown in functional MRI scans. Now, the amygdala is part of your limbic system, your emotional brain, that acts like a bit like a smoke detector, always looking out for danger. So, for example, when you receive bad news from your boss or you begin to worry about a future event, it triggers part of your brain called the amygdala. When you think of the amygdala, one word should come to mind: fear. This part of the brain is responsible for triggering the stress response in our bodies, releasing the stress-related hormones into the bloodstream, also known as the fight, flight, or freeze response. It is the body's natural reaction to a perceived threat. The problem is we tend to have our amygdala in charge way more than what we want. The amygdala's response is effective when faced with a real-life danger, but damaging when we want to feel calm and confident during a meeting, for example. And most of the time, this is happening in your body, and you aren't experiencing the flight, fight, or freeze response for the same reasons that our ancestors did long time ago. There's no tiger in the woods, but the response in your body is still the same. So tapping on these meridian points, the same as I said, used in the acupressure, while thinking about what is causing you stress, helps your mind understand that you are not in any physical danger. It is safe to relax and reduce the cortisol levels. Tapping gives you the opportunity to bring your life back into balance and reduce stress around your relationships, finances, weight, pain, fears, and so much more. So now I'm going to talk you through the basic tapping points. And I would just like to say here that different tapping methods may start at different points, but all the methods work. So we start with the side of the hand, the karate chop point. Now you tap on the side of the hand with all 4 fingers of the opposite hand, and you can use either hand, doesn't matter. And we use this point for the setup statement. Now, when we tap through the other points, we use 2 fingers that are on that particular point, and we tap about 5 to 7 times, and we don't tap too hard. It's quite lightly. We don't want to bruise ourselves. So we start with tapping on the eyebrow point. Now, this is where the eyebrows begin, closest to the bridge of the nose. Now, you can tap with one hand, you can tap with both hands, you can tap on the same side of the body or the opposite side of the body. It's all okay. And as I said, there are a few different methods and they all work. We then tap on the side of the eye, and that's on the bone directly outside of either eye, so on the edge of that eye socket. Yeah. The next point is underneath the eye, and it's directly under the middle of the eye. Then we go underneath the nose, the area between the nose and the upper lip. We then do under the mouth. This is just below your bottom lip and above your chin, right on that crease. Next, we go just under the collarbone. Now, starting where your collarbone meets in the center, go down about 1 inch and out about 1 inch. And that's a point. Normally, if you press there, you find that it's a little bit of a sore point. The next one is under the arm, and it's about 4 inches beneath the armpit, or like a palm's width below. So if you're wearing a bra, it's on that bra strap line. The last point, we come back up to the top of the head, along the midline. And that's your basic tapping points that we'll be using today. I just wanted to talk a little bit more about the collarbone point. Now, this point is also called K27. The K27 point is a very versatile acupressure point that relieves throat and chest and back pain, helps you breathe deeply, and helps release endorphins. Now, you can firmly tap or massage these points while you take 3 deep breaths. These points are really helpful for emotional concerns such as anxiety or agitation, or for hormonal issues such as the thyroid gland irregularities. The KT27 point also boosts your immune system. So this is a good one that you can do on its own whenever you feel the need. Now, I often get asked how we can tap when we're in company. Now, the collarbone point is a good one that I just showed you, because we can tap maybe under a jacket or a cardigan. And if you don't want to tap, you can press on that point too. And nobody really, can see what you're doing. I also tap on the gamut point or the trauma point. Now, this is the fleshy bit between the little finger and the ring finger on the back of your hand, using all the fingers from the other hand. Now, when you can tap on this, you can tap underneath the table and nobody notices, or you might have a scarf on and a scarf's covering your hand, so nobody's actually seeing you tap. Another nice one that you can tap with people not really seeing is tapping on the side of your thumb and fingers. Now, you tap on the side of the thumb, index finger, middle finger, and little finger of the opposite hand at the base of the nail, but on the side. And these points here are really good for stubborn issues. And you can also include the ring finger if you wish, and I often do. Now, you can tap on your hand and finger points, as I said, under the table, and nobody would notice. So I wanted to explain a little bit about our beliefs. Now, research has confirmed that our brain cells actually translate the mind's perception of the world around us, our beliefs, and they transform these beliefs into unique chemical profile that actually secretes into our blood cells and goes to every single cell in our body. And we've got over 50 trillion cells in our body. So when we change the way we perceive the world, and basically we change our beliefs, we are actually changing the blood's neurochemical composition, which then initiates a change in all of our bodily cells. So you can see how that beliefs really are the foundation at the bottom. What we believe has an effect on our values in life. Our beliefs and our values are then the underpinning part of the creation of our thoughts. Then our thoughts create our emotions. And this is all done in the subconscious area of our brain. And then we're consciously aware of our emotions like anger, shame, joy. And then we react to these emotions with learned behaviors and we take action. We can decide to do something or not to do something. But the important thing to remember is that our learned behaviors and actions are based on our beliefs right at the bottom, along with our values. So you can see how our beliefs really are that foundation of everything that we believe. And it's worth mentioning that a belief doesn't actually necessarily have to be true to be a belief. We can hold a belief without having the facts, whether it is true or not. So if you'd like to learn a little bit more about beliefs, please watch last month's Mind Body Learning Zone monthly chat on beliefs, which you can find in your library. So before we do some tapping, I would like to show you how you can connect with your body, your thoughts, and your emotions. Just take a moment, close your eyes if you feel safe to do so, and take some nice calming breaths and tune into your body and mind. So big deep breath in and out. And again, big breath in and out. And just tune into your body and mind. Remember, we always explore from a place of love, compassion, and curiosity. And just ask yourself the following questions and make a note of them. What bodily sensations have come up for you? Where does this sensation sit in your body? How big is it? What shape is it? What color is it? What's it made of? What emotions am I feeling right now? And what am I thinking right now? And just make a note of anything that's come up for you. So next, I wanted to explain the setup statement to you. Your setup statement should acknowledge the problem that you want to deal with, then follow it with a phrase of acceptance. Now, by doing this, this helps neutralize the judgments you have around how you feel and allows you to be more honest with your tapping. It is saying, even though I have all of this going on, I'm okay and I accept myself for who I am. We say the setup statement 3 times whilst tapping on the side of the hand, also called the karate chop point, which is that fleshy bit on the side of your hand just below your little finger. And we do it with all 4 fingers of the opposite hand. And as I said before, it doesn't matter which hand we use. So whilst we are tapping on the side of the hand, we say the following. And these blank spaces are the words and the sensations and the emotions that come up when we were connecting with our body before. So we can say, even though I have this, and name that body sensation, and I'm feeling, name the emotion that come up for you, and I think, say what the thoughts are, I deeply and completely honor and accept myself just the way I am. So an example might be, even though I have this tightness in my chest and I'm feeling so anxious about going to my friend's house, and I think I won't be able to cope and I'll have to come home early, I deeply and completely love and accept myself just the way I am. Now, I like to say I deeply and completely love and accept myself just the way I am. But I know that some people find it hard to say that they love themselves. The way I like to see it is that this is what we are aiming for, to love and accept ourselves. So here are some other examples that you might like to use. So even though I feel this anxiety, I accept how I feel. Even though I'm anxious about this interview, I accept myself and how I feel. Even though I'm feeling this anxiety about my financial situations, I honor my feelings and give my body permission to relax. A point to note here that if you are experiencing a strong emotion or totally overwhelmed, there is no need to actually do a setup statement, as you're already really tuned into the issue. Just start with going through the tapping points. Now, clients often ask me, what words do I say? So following the setup statement, you are then tapping 5 to 7 times on each of the tapping points while saying a reminder phrase. So the phrases that you use in your setup statement can also be used as a reminder while you are tapping. So, I feel this anxiety, all this financial worry, I've got this meeting coming up. Now, clients often ask me, well, what words do I say? And I'm going to cover that more in the next slide. So how can you tap using a truth round? Well, you might have done your setup statement, and even though I feel like this and I'm thinking this, I love and accept and honor myself just the way I am. And then as we go through the points, we say reminder phrases. But what we can do is we could do this as a truth round. So as you're tapping on each of the points, you're just telling your story just the way it is. And like if you were telling your best friend about what was happening in your life at the moment. And I always say the snottier the better. Just let it all out. Just say it how it is. Even though this person's really annoying me and I'm feeling really angry at the moment and I feel so overwhelmed with what's going on and they're just not listening to me. You're just saying your story how it is, and you're just saying the truth of it, really. Now, there's no set amount of rounds here. You'll just keep on tapping until you feel an energy shift and what you're saying doesn't feel so intense. And we often know that sometimes as we're tapping and saying things, we might have a big sigh or a bit of a cough or something like that. And we can just check in and think, okay, energy's coming down. And then we can change that to a what if round. So what if I was to let this feeling go? And so really we're just starting, what if? What if I was to look at this situation different? What if I could calm down? What if I could take some time for myself? And then when you're feeling another energy shift, we just move on to, maybe I could do that. Maybe I could let that go. Maybe I could go for a walk in the mornings. Or maybe I could just sit outside in the sun. Maybe I could. So we're just sort of like gradually bringing ourselves around to that thought of, we've done a what if, and then, well, maybe I could. And then when you feel that intensity go down again and say no set amount of rounds, you just end with that positive round. Yeah, I am safe. I am feeling safe. It is safe to feel these feelings. I can do this. I feel confident. I am safe. I'm going to have a go at this. Yeah. Remember, use your own words after the statements, as this helps you connect with your issue on a deeper level. So what does a basic tapping round look like? So you've identified the problem or emotion on what you want to focus. And remember, you can go back to that slide on reconnecting with your body, your emotions, your thoughts. Yeah. And then when you think about that issue, we rate the intensity. How do you feel about that problem? How intense is it to you right now? How intense is that emotion right now? Rate the intensity on a scale of 0 to 10, with 0 being the lowest level and 10 being the highest. We next do the setup statement, where you're tapping on the side of your hand while saying your setup statement 3 times. So then you tap on the points, and you tap about 5 or 7 times on each of the tapping points, whilst you say your reminder phrases or like your truth round. And you continue to tap until you feel your intensity come down. Now we take a big deep breath in and out. And we reconnect with ourselves and rate that intensity on a scale of 0 to 10. Now, any shift down, even by 1 point, is a step in the right direction. And you continue to tap if needed and just repeat. Now, just before we do some tapping together, I just wanted to mention matrix reimprinting, which I mentioned a couple of times before. Now, this technique is very effective at changing self-limiting beliefs. And matrix reimprinting uses EFT tapping and does the following. It connects you safely to your past traumas. It connects you with your core beliefs. It safely enables you to reframe your limiting beliefs to positive ones. Helps that younger you or hurt part of you move through the freeze response. Helps transform those past memories, releases negative emotions, changes the learned neural pathways, and helps you make new neural pathways. Now, doing this helps stop those triggers associated with old memories. So we use the tapping within matrix reimprinting to help do all of these things. And it is a very powerful technique, which I also do. So before we do our tapping together, I just wanted you to connect with your body sensations, your emotions, and your thoughts. And you can use these answers when you are tapping. So just think about something that makes you anxious, and you can pause the recording and make a note of these answers. So when you think about your anxiety or something else that is coming up, what bodily sensations come up? What emotions are you feeling? What are you thinking right now? And if my body had a message for me, what would it say? And I now will be sharing with you a tapping meditation to help with releasing your anxiety. Just repeat the setup statements and reminder phrases after me whilst tapping on the points. We will begin tapping on the points while expressing how you may be feeling about your anxiety. As you give a voice to these feelings and stimulate the acupressure points, you are sending a calming signal to the brain, the amygdala, letting the brain know that even with these thoughts, it is safe to relax. And you can then move on to the positive statements, when hearing the positive statements feels comfortable and when they begin to sound true. And as we tap, focusing on the positive statements, we continue to calm the fight, flight, or freeze response in the brain, allowing these thoughts to create a calming response. If you don't feel ready to tap on the positive, you can always pause this meditation and continue tapping on your own. Now we're going to rate the intensity. How do you feel about the problem, or how intense is your anxiety right now? Rate that intensity on a scale of 0 to 10, with 0 being the lowest, no anxiety, and 10 being the highest anxiety you have felt. Make a mental note of that number, or maybe jot it down. Now, before we start, I want you to take 2 deep breaths so you can center your mind and your body. So, nice big inhale and exhale. And again, inhale and exhale. So let us start with a setup statement where you can fill in the blanks for the questions you just answered. So we start with the side of the hand. So even though I have this, name your sensation, and I'm feeling, name your emotion. And I think, name your thoughts. I deeply and completely love, honor, and accept myself just the way I am. Even though I have this anxiety and it feels a bit uncomfortable, I'm acknowledging that's just where I am right now. And again, even though I didn't realize it before, how much anxiety has impacted my life. I know that I'm doing my best right now. We now continue tapping on the points, and we start with the eyebrow. I feel all this anxiety in my, name the body part, side of the eye. And it's showing up like, name your sensation, under the eye. And I keep thinking, say your thoughts, under the nose. All these racing thoughts, under the mouth. And they just won't go away. Collarbone. All this anxiety in my body, under the arm. This tightness in my chest, top of the head. My racing heartbeat, eyebrow. This anxiety feeling in my stomach, side of the eye. All these sensations and thoughts, under the eye. They feel stuck in my body, under the nose. Sometimes I don't notice them, under the mouth. But when I want to do something nice, collarbone, or try something different, under the arm, all these thoughts and sensations come back. Top of the head. It is really frustrating. Eyebrow. It is so overwhelming. Side of the eye, and it makes me so tired. Under the eye. I just want them to go away. Under the nose. I just want to feel calm. Under the mouth. And do the things that I want to do. Collarbone. Without feeling overwhelmed by anxiety. Under the arm. If my anxiety was just part of me. Top of the head. A part that is trying to keep me safe. Eyebrow. Like an overprotective friend. Side of the eye. And when that part gets frightened, under the eye, that something bad might happen, under the nose, it gives me anxiety to try to keep me safe. Under the mouth. Maybe my anxiety is like a warning light. Collarbone. Reminding me that I need to address something. Under the arm. Maybe some unresolved emotions or trauma. Top of the head. What if I can welcome this part with love and compassion? Eyebrow. Knowing that this part is just keeping me safe. Side of the eye. Welcoming all these different parts of me. Under the eye. And I give all parts of me love and compassion. Under the nose. Because they are only ever trying to keep me safe. Under the mouth. Maybe I could get to know this part a little better. Collarbone. Maybe something happened in the past. Under the arm. And it's trying to protect me from doing it again. Top of the head. But it makes me so hyper-vigilant. Eyebrow. Always looking out for danger. Side of the eye. But what's happened in the past, under the eye, doesn't have to happen in the future. Under the nose. Maybe this part is just trying to protect me. Under the mouth. From what might happen in the future. Collarbone. It's trying to keep me safe. Under the arm. And because it's doing such a good job, top of the head, it's stopping me from moving forward. Eyebrow. So maybe I can get to know this anxious part. Side of the eye. And ask it to give me some space to try new things. Under the eye. Maybe things have gone wrong in the past. Or maybe I have even made mistakes. Under the mouth. And I have been hurt or frightened in the past. Collarbone. Maybe my anxious part still thinks I'm stuck in the past. Under the arm. And it's being overprotective. Top of the head. But I'm okay now in the present. Eyebrow. I know this part is trying to keep me safe. Side of the eye. Maybe this anxious part is worried about the future. Under the arm. That what happened in the past could happen again. Under the nose. My past does not have to equal my future. Under the mouth. I remind myself, collarbone, that I'm safe in this present moment. Under the arm. Maybe I could get to know this part a little better. Top of the head. Maybe I could ask it to give me a little bit more space. Eyebrow. And thank this part for keeping me safe. Side of the eye. I have carried this anxiety for so long. Under the arm. It has become my identity. Under the nose. Who would I be without it? Under the mouth. Maybe that frightens me. Collarbone. It is safe to have these feelings. Under the arm. I am safe in this present moment. Top of the head. What if I didn't have this anxiety? Eyebrow. I may have to do things I don't want to do. Side of the eye. Or others could ask me to do things. Under the eye. Maybe this anxiety is keeping me small and safe. Under the nose. So I could hide from the things I don't want to do. Under the mouth. What if I choose to get to know this part better? Collarbone. And I could ask this anxious part of me. Under the arm. What message have you got for me? Top of the head. What would you like me to know? Eyebrow. What are you afraid will happen? Side of the eye. If you didn't do your job. Under the eye. It is safe to have these thoughts. Under the nose. It's safe to have these feelings. Under the mouth. I am safe in this present moment. Collarbone. Maybe I could start to be a bit more curious today. Under the arm. Perhaps I could start to feel a little bit more at ease. Top of the head. Who would I be without this anxiety? Eyebrow. What would I love to do? Side of the eye. Maybe I can get excited about doing something new. Under the eye. Or doing something that I loved doing before. Under the nose. And even though I might feel a little anxious. Under the mouth. What if I told my body? Collarbone. That the sensations I get when I get anxious under the arm are similar to the ones I have when I get excited. Top of the head. So every time I feel a bit anxious about doing something new, eyebrow, I just tell myself I'm excited. Side of the eye. And I want to do this. Under the eye. What if I could release some of this anxiety today? Under the nose. How would that feel? Under the mouth. Choosing to let some of this anxiety go. Collarbone. Sending this anxiety out of my body. Under the arm. Out of every organ and cell of my body. Top of the head. Out of my energy field. Eyebrow. Out into the universe. Side of the eye, where it can no longer do any harm. Under the eye. Now I'm calling back all the parts of me. Under the nose. That didn't have room in me before. Under the mouth. Calling back calmness. Collarbone. Calling back excitement. Under the arm. Calling back joy and hope. Top of the head. Choosing to feel lighter now. Eyebrow. It is safe to feel these positive emotions. Side of the eye. It is safe to feel my body becoming more at ease. Under the eye. Choosing to feel a little bit safer now. Under the nose. Because I'm doing my absolute best right now. Under the mouth. Maybe I could learn to enjoy the calmness in my body. Collarbone. Perhaps I can breathe a little bit deeper now. Under the arm. I choose to feel calm. Top of the head. I'm noticing my body start to relax. I'm noticing the calmness in my body. I feel safe in my body. I am safe in this moment. Now take a nice deep breath in, and as you exhale, place your hands over your heart and feel your heartbeat. Feel how your breath expands your chest. Feel the life force in your body. Feel how your body supports you and how much you support your body. As you breathe in, say, I am safe. And as you breathe out, say, I am safe. And when you're ready, open your eyes if you've had them shut and come back into the present moment. Now just tune back in to how you are feeling about the problem or how intense your anxiety is right now, and rate that intensity on a scale of 0 to 10, with 0 being the lowest, no anxiety, and 10 being the highest. Remember, even a shift of 1 point lower is a step in the right direction. And you can revisit this tapping meditation as often as you need. I hope you enjoyed that. If anything come up for you, then you may like to make a note of that, and you can either do some more tapping on it or maybe do some journaling on it too. If any unresolved traumas or emotions have come up for you and you've been triggered, then it's always best to work with EFT practitioner one-to-one. So bye for now and happy tapping. So I hope you enjoyed that. So if you feel that you need more support, then working one-to-one with a stress illness recovery practitioner and energy psychologist such as myself, I can help you go to a deeper level and find out the why behind your symptoms. Please remember that the information in this presentation is intended for information only. And if you're concerned about anything, please speak with your GP or healthcare provider.